Good morning.
That was cute. Oh my gosh.
And a very happy Friday.
I love these intros, like our YouTube videos that we make now. Like our YouTube, they don't start like that anymore, but it reminds me of like the old espresso, which is amazing.
We shall put this on YouTube. How about it?
How about it?
How about it? What is up, you guys? Happy Flex Friday. Great to be hanging out with you guys. By the way, before we get into some Q&A, so today we're going to be answering any and all of your questions.
Not all.
Not all, some. However many we can get to. If you find yourself having a question, Danny, as you're popping on here, if you can just please drop the link for the form so that you guys can just go ahead and ask them, because we will get through those first. That'll be amazing. Also,
hopefully they don't ban finger guns. I just realized I did a finger gun. Do you think the government will take that away from me? Anyways, side note, what you were saying.
So, not sure if you guys saw in your emails, if you're subscribed to our emails, this past week we've had an epic
4th of July
sale. Okay, and we launched something that we've been literally working on for over a year. It is called the ENS Army Fitscription. So in the case that you want to learn more about that, I think it's, probably important that we just share with you a little bit of information about that so that you can make sure to take advantage of this special, because it ends today, in the case that it is in alignment with what you are about.
100%.
So, the Fitscription, what is it? It is a platform where you basically get access to any ENS workout program that has ever been created, and to any ENS workout program that will ever be created.
Sounds like heaven.
Yeah. So, all the burn zones, UTC. For those of you guys who've been training with our programs for quite some time, in the Fitscription there is 2 brand new programs. There is the UTC Coaches Corner, where basically Erin and I are coaching you through these movements, because some of the movements in the UTC are a lot more advanced. That's why there is a quiz to see if you can qualify for the Underground Training Club.
And there is a, what did we name it? It's basically like a...
Coach's Corner.
The Coach's Corner, where it's like you can actually go through all of the movements so that you are able to do, like, before you qualify for the UTC. So everybody has access to the Coach's Corner, where it's like, these are all the movements that you can work your way up to. Here's how to do them. Here's the right form. Here's the demonstrations of all of it. So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I see Beth Lewis in the
UTC.
house. I don't know if you already got a chance to check them out, but definitely if you're in the Underground Training Club, check those out. This is something that we've been working on for a really long time, so we're really excited for that. Also, there is a brand new fitness program, a kickboxing program. Coach Danny is hosting that. So in the ENS Army Fitscription, you will find that as well, of course. Also, the Murph training program is in it. The Elevate program is in it. And any other fitness program that will ever be created will be hosted there. So basically, you just have ongoing access to all things fitness, so that number one, the reason why we wanted to do this is because it makes your fitness journey a lot more clear when you can see the whole path. Okay, and then for 2, something that we've realized is that people have different preferences and are at a different spot in their journey, and we want to make sure to cater to that. So yes, there's the main track, but there's also other things, because by the end of the day, like we always say, when it comes fitness, you want to make sure that it's safe, that it's fun, and that it's effective. Okay? And, what happens if you get injured? Okay? Maybe we need to segue to something else, right?
Or what happens if you start to try a program and you're like, yeah, I'm not really jiving with this one, which, like, let's be honest, like, with the banter, I don't know how you can't not jive. But let's say the fitness level, like, doesn't match where you're at, and so you're like, oh, I want to go to a different one. You have access to jump around wherever you need to.
Yeah. For anybody who's already in the UTC, you do it basically because the UTC is an ongoing thing. You're already enrolled in the Fitscription, but for anybody else who is not yet, and if you may want to take advantage of that, the deal closes tonight, and basically what it is $47 a month instead of $67 a month, and also there is an annual subscription if you would prefer to save a little more, and you know that you've already done a bunch of our programs and you're like, hey, I'm in it for the long haul, then it's $470 for the year instead of $670. So like you're saving even more. Okay, so I don't know if Danny's here.
And keep an eye on your email, actually, because Sarit and I were chatting this morning and we decided we were going to do something really extra special that we have never done before, but there's extremely limited spots, and so keep an eye on your email for that.
And I see you guys are jumping in the room, so I want to say good morning. Yes, it does come with the UTC. It's everything.
I want a dance cardio with Erin.
Who said that?
Oh my gosh, DJ E.
You guys, we're just getting warmed up with the Fitscription. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
When you were saying like any other new program that we put in there you'll have access to, I thought of that Usher song, I got plans to, but like that's it, like, because I was like, we got plans, but then I was like, the rest of that song doesn't make any sense. I got plans to put my hands in places I've never seen. Girl, you know what I mean. Let me take you to a place that's nice and quiet, where there ain't no one better to. Ain't gotta rush, I just wanna take it nice and slow. So baby, tell me what you want to do with me. It doesn't really work.
With my dance moves, huh, Melissa? Well, hey, you guys, I really appreciate you giving me a little bit of credit.
Maybe I will teach a Zumba class that I choreograph, and you will be the student with them.
That sounds great.
I'm just going to make it up.
Yep. I think that'll be good. That'll be appropriate.
This is called the WTF dance workout by Erin.
The W what?
WTF.
Oh, WTF. Have you ever heard of this training program called the WTF?
Oh my gosh, we're going to get to questions.
Good morning, you guys. I just want to say good morning, Melissa, Amelia, Coach Mo,
Missy, Tabitha, Mary. Your cursor's in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
There we go.
Trisha, Tabitha,
Jamie. Melissa, I love you tagging people. Danny, thanks for dropping the link to the Fitscription. Amelia's here. I think you already said Amelia.
Bromley's here. Great to see you guys. Tawny's here.
Connie's here. Tawny and Connie.
All right. Let's get to it, shall we? Ooh,
Duarte's in the house. Hey, girl. Hi.
What's up? I love this.
I'm feeling ferocious this morning.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to question number 1. Question number 1 is from Michelle. Michelle asks, do you ever feel that you are doing the same thing day in, day out, and get tired of it? Do you want a change? How do you get out of that funk?
I love this question.
How do you get out of that funk? Has anybody experienced that? You're just doing the same thing. It's boring.
I wanna offer you a gift. And that gift is going to be I encourage you to change your perspective about it. Because this is why people give up. Because they expect for it to be fun all the time.
New, exciting, stimulating.
So when you take it to the next level, you find fun in the mundaneness.
Didn't you talk about this in the inner circle on Monday? Or was it?
Yeah, we talked about Mundaneville on Monday.
Or was it the Raw?
We talked about 7 steps.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Should that be a YouTube video?
Well, it's an inner circle thing. So.
Well, we can give a blimp. This is what we do. We give
a blimp.
A little blimp. A little
like
blip.
The hot dogs.
A blimp. You're thinking about the Oscar Mayer Wiener truck?
I think there's also blimp hot dogs. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in the grocery store. Anyways, look, I mean, the reality is that I want to offer this to you because once you appreciate that, you know, this is how it is, and you know, like Maya Angelou says, if you can change something, then change your attitude. Mundaneville is going to come, so you might as well change your attitude about it. So I will tell you that the routine is where I find peace at this point in my life, because that's just how it is. So embrace it for what it is and find a way to be at peace with it. You know, we live in this very instant gratification society, so it's really hard to, like, even most people don't even get themselves to a place of Mundaneville. Because in order for you to get to Mundaneville, you had to have been at it for like you have to be consistent and put in effort for at least 3 months. Most people don't even get there because most people give up like on day 5. That's just the reality of it. So, you know, once you do hit Mundaneville, the easiest way to get through it and to see the rainbow within, you know, the clouds and the rain and the sleet and whatnot is to, okay, how can I find peace in it? Just like me in cold weather. I used to hate cold weather, but now I embrace it. As a matter of fact, I do a practice where every single day I expose myself to, like, you know, cold stress. Allows me to appreciate it. So, you know, if I can't change something, I can change my attitude about it. And, you know, it's a practice. So, you know, when you do get there, be grateful that you got there, because it means that you've been consistent enough to get there. Now, most people do not get through it because they expect for it to be fun. It just is. It just is. And I know that if I'm in a routine, then I'm going the highway, and discipline is a gift, you guys. It really is a gift. Okay, so at the very least, it's like, okay, I'm doing this to develop my discipline.
Yeah, you refer to it as Mundaneville. I'm trying to think of, like, you know, all the greats, all the people who are very exceptional at what they do. Let's take sports, for example. Michael Jordan practiced his chest pass. Do you know how boring and not exciting a chest pass is? Over and over and over and over, 100 times, 200 times, 300 times. Just boom, boom. It's not sexy. It's not a slam dunk. It's not a behind the back. It's not an alley-oop. You know, it's not sexy at all, but it is a fundamental. The fundamentals have to be practiced so much that they become habit. And you have to pay attention to them until it becomes something that becomes habitual. I think people misunderstand habit. They think, oh, habit's something that I do for 30 days, and then, like, when it feels like it's, I don't have to fight myself so much, then it's a habit. No, a habit is something you do without thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
A habit is do you like when you when you brush your teeth. When you brush your teeth, you have a routine. You go to a certain side of your mouth first every time. Think about it.
True.
You brush your teeth the exact same way.
Tying your shoelaces.
You don't think about it. You tie your shoelaces the same way. That is a habit. Okay, what would happen if, let's say when you tie your shoes, you usually put the left string underneath and you put the right string over the top, and then you wrap it up. What if you did the right string on the bottom and the left string on the top, and you tied your shoe the opposite way with the strings that you normally do? You will have to pay extreme attention, and you'll probably tie your shoe like a 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not your habit. A habit is something that you do and you literally do not even recognize that you're doing it, right? You don't have to convince yourself to brush your teeth. Oh, I go from the left bottom side over to the right bottom side, over to the left top. Like, you don't have to convince yourself to do it. That's just the way that you do it. You don't think about it. So, practicing these regular mundane type of things until it literally is habitual. You're like, yeah, I make my food on the weekend or on whatever day. Yeah, I grocery shop on this. It's just how I do it. It's just what I do. Occasionally I've got to rearrange my schedule. But it is important to practice and just be okay with the things that are not sexy. Because everybody who's great at something is okay. Anybody who does anything extraordinary does ordinary things extraordinarily well. What is that? There's a quote that's like, if you want to be great, do ordinary things extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I came up with a new quote.
Okay.
As you were talking about.
Hit me.
Fun.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Find the fun in fundamental.
Ooh, la 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 la.
Find the fun in fundamental. Yeah, so, Michelle, I will tell you from my own personal experience, you only take yourself to the next level when you are in the same routine over and over and over again, because your brain and your body gets used to a certain space, and it allows you to tap to the next level. Because remember, we were designed to adapt. So if you always give your body a new stimulus, it's going to just okay, how can I get by with this new environment? How can I get by with this new environment? But if you give your body the same environment, it's okay, how can I take myself the extra mile in this environment? And that's when we tap into the next level. Okay? The reason why weight loss or anything success related is hard, it's because it requires discipline. And discipline is not something that, okay, I earned, I've become a more disciplined person, so now I can go back to eating donuts. No, it's something where you keep stretching yourself over and over and over again. And, if you always, yes, you need to give yourself new challenges, but if you're always in a state of, okay, just adapt to newness, then you have less time to prepare yourself, to take yourself to tap into the next level. Okay? Hope that helps.
Okie dokie. Next question. Dana, is it okay to put food in the refrigerator right away if it is hot? If you don't have enough time to wait for it to cool before you put it in the refrigerator. That's what your mom calls it.
No, she calls it refrigerator.
The refrigerator.
No, she does not.
She does it on purpose.
Oh.
I don't know if there's any negative.
It's fine. I can tell you. So when we meal prep our protein, you like to let it
I like to let things cool.
Erin likes to let it cool to room temperature. I just like put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the fridge. I'm like, okay,
she'll take
I'm done. Let me get it out of the way.
She'll take chicken off the hot grill and put it in a plastic bag and put it in the fridge.
I'm like, let me just get this out of the way.
Get it out of the way. No.
Look, there's no negative implications. It's fine. It's just if it's hot and you're putting it in a cool environment, there might be a little bit condensation. So let's say if you're making like, baked broccoli or something like that, it will just, like have condensation in it. So do not be surprised if it's maybe like a little bit more soggy. Moist.
Some people hate that word. I don't understand why.
It reminds me of the Aunt Jemima, like, cake powders. Because it says super moist.
Super.
Super.
Super moist. Mm-hmm. Old wives' tale, let it cool first. How important. Great. Yeah, I am not a hot food in the fridge doctor, but that's what we do. Okay, next question is from Karen. Karen asks, help! That's not a question. What a kind of question is that? What movie is that from? What a kind of question is that?
I don't know.
Stove. What are you, an appliance?
I don't know.
Somebody has to know what movie that's from. I'm going to wait. Hit me in the comments. What movie is that from? Okay, she says, help. I work evenings as an RN. I try to eat before 9, but sometimes evenings are rough. My blood sugar drops and I need to eat more from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. What are good options to eat before bed?
I love that. That's such a great question. Is it Bridesmaids?
It is Bridesmaids.
Nice.
On the plane.
What'd she say?
What a kind of question is that?
Oh, I don't know.
No, what kind of name is that? What is she? I think I actually mixed two movies. Stove. What kind of name is that? What are you, an appliance? But his name is Steve. But she's drunk. So she read it as Stove.
I love it.
It's Steve. My name is Steve. Okay.
Okay, so this is a great question. I love it. So let's just take different elements that go into this. One being, of course, due to your life demands. How do we cater to that? And then also considering maybe other implications that may come along with that. So normally when it's that late or that early in the morning, cortisol levels are higher. And what I would recommend for you to stick to because of that is go for veggies and protein. Okay? Starches are totally fine. Just go for the better than ones that are like high in fiber. Okay? However, if I were you, I would stick to mainly veggies and proteins. Now, I can also imagine registered nurse, night shift. What if you're in charge of the entire floor and you're like, dude, I don't have like time to actually sit down and eat. What do I do? I would recommend you bring with you a super smoothie. Okay? This is how I do my super smoothie. I put a scoop of protein. I put a scoop of the collagen and greens. Cup of almond milk, handful of ice, and frozen blueberries. Tablespoon of PB Fit. Mix it all up. Just keep it in the fridge, and
Mash
then I know nurses have a lot of charting to do, and you guys hate doing charting.
Ooh.
I don't even know what charting is, but I feel like it's just inputting a lot of data. But as you're doing your charting or whatever, you can take one sip here, one sip there, because I don't know if you have a break.
I think it's like client files, like patient files, notes.
Got it. But, you know, mainly for your nutrition at this time of the day, stick to protein and veggies.
Here's the other thing to consider. My guess is that you're doing nights.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you are active and you're up and you're moving around, your body needs nutrients.
Right.
Right? Not like you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So it's not that look, the same food that would not be very good for you to eat during the day is the same food that would not be very good for you to eat at night. Your schedule is just different, so I think people think like, oh, but between this hour and this hour, like it's not good to eat, or it's not good to eat after 7 p.m. How many times have you heard like, oh, it's not good to eat after this time of day? And for some people it's like 7, some people it's 6, some it's like 8. Don't eat after 7 p.m. Like, why? You can eat any time of the day, and if you're awake and you're moving around, your body is using energy to be alive and to do those functions. So there's no reason why you shouldn't eat. Now, here's the deal. If you eat a donut right before you go to bed, that's not going to help you lose weight. But a donut any time of the day is not going to help you lose weight.
Yeah.
Right? So the same principles apply. We just get wrapped up in this time of the day thing when we don't need to make that big of a deal about it. Now, a banana is not bad for you, but is a banana something that you need at night? No, probably not, because it has sugar in it, and that's not what your body's going to use when you go to sleep. Now, if you're up and you're moving around and you're moving patients and you're helping people and you're doing stuff and you're active, your body is going to use that differently. Now, that's as far as I'm going to go there with the details of different types of foods, because people get wrapped up in like, oh my gosh, glycemic index and grams of sugar in a fruit. It's fruit, okay? And if you choose to eat a banana at 11 p.m. and then you go to bed at 11:01 p.m., but usually you'd eat a Big Mac, eat the banana. I don't care. You know? So it's all kind of relative depending on where you're at. And it's always, like we always go back to, it's about what is something better than what you would have done before, but do not think that it's not good to eat between the hours of 7 p.m. and 8 a.m. There's nothing that says that should be off limits, especially in a unique situation where you are literally up and moving and active at the time.
Yeah, of course. And look, of course the circadian rhythm has something to do with like our hormonal regulation, but what you do want to take into consideration by the end of the day is the specifics of your own life, right? Like, don't take a generalized formula and think that like one size does not fit all. Because now if we're entering malnourishment or maybe like, increased food cravings and maybe more emotional eating, and now you're eating more processed food because, you are depriving your body, and I share that from my own personal experience. When I actively deprived my body wanted to go and sabotage against me because it's like, bitch, you're not treating me right, I'm gonna go fight back.
Yeah, because it goes against naturally what you need.
So yeah, just considering the timing, like we said, stick mainly to proteins, veggies, fibrous carbs, and you do good.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. This one is from Erica. Erica asks, I have lost some weight and I need to tone my neck and my chin. I have looked up exercises online, but was wondering what exercises you would recommend, how many reps, how often should I do them? Thanks for your help. First thing I would like to address, if I may,
Okay.
is...
May she?
She may.
Do you guys...
She's giving herself permission.
Do you guys give her permission?
She's giving herself permission. So I'm curious to know if it's skin or fat, because when you say I want to tone my neck and chin, muscle tone is your muscles' readiness to contract. So I would call Sarit jacked, not toned. However, you can see her muscle tone because it's already semi-flexed without her making the effort to do that. Because tone is...
I'm just ready for Flex Friday, you guys.
She's about to break the sleeves off her shirt. Look at...
Oh, come on. Stop it. It's laundry day and my hoodie went in the wash, so.
Okay, so did you already start it?
No, the load is so big. I'm like, I'm not going to take all that time to separate
You got
that
a big
shit
load?
out.
You got a big load?
I think we got like 3 loads.
You got 3 loads.
Uh-huh.
Wow. I'm 12. Okay, so muscle tone is your muscles' readiness to contract. So if I need to if I need to react to something physical coming at me, and my muscles are used to working, they're ready. If you don't have any muscle tone, that's because you are not used to using your muscles, and so they're not prepared to react when something puts some kind of force on them. So we like to think of muscle tone as like the visual of it, but really I think we're looking for, I want to tighten her up. Okay, so that's like a side note out of the way, okay?
I like that. I like that.
So now, if it's skin, that's tough because skin has its elasticity, and depending on age, depending on hydration, depending on, how big it was before, is all going to determine how elastic it is and does it go back and how far does it go back. If it's body fat, then it's still just something that needs to be gotten rid of, which we don't get to choose where the body fat goes away. We do not get to choose. You cannot do 100 sit-ups and be like, I'm targeting my fat in this area, because here's the deal. Fat and muscle are 2 different kinds of tissue, and they respond very differently to all the stimulus that we can give them. So where fat comes and goes in a different way than muscle comes and goes. Does that make sense? So you also can't replace, like fat can't turn into muscle. You can always get more muscle or less muscle. You can get more fat or less fat. And when you are, like, if we're going to go to just the basic of all basics, calories in, calories out, is the like general premise of fat loss. And you don't get to choose where it goes first. You just have to keep going. That's not a super sexy answer, but that's the truth. And you can, any exercise that you do that physically taxes your muscles, you're working those muscles, but the muscles are underneath the fat that you're trying to get rid of. So you're working the muscle, that's cool. Like if I want to get rid of like my underarm fat, like I can do a bunch of these until the cows come home, but really all I'm doing is working the muscle that's underneath it.
Yeah.
So it's not going to do anything to what's on top of it. That is going to come and go with consistency in your nutrition. With the intensity of your workouts does matter, because the intensity will change how your hormones are released and what hormones are released and in what amounts. So when you do something that's extremely high intensity, is it a release of testosterone? Mm-hmm. Right? So there's more, I don't know the whole science about it, but like higher intensity is going to have more to do with the testosterone levels. And
which are correlated with more muscle growth and less fat.
Yeah. More testosterone encourages more fat loss and more muscle growth, strength, all of that. And for women, like we do not naturally have a lot of it. So, if you do higher intensity workouts, you can give yourself a little boost of that, which is great. I promise you're not accidentally going to look like Sarit. There's no way.
That did not happen by accident.
That's offensive. I don't want to look as big as you. Try. It's freaking hard. So
I'm not big though.
I just want to encourage you to know that you can lift weights, you can do high intensity. It takes a lot of consistency and just duration of time in order to, get that tone that you're looking for. My boobs have declared tribute.
Yeah, I want to touch up on it a little bit too, because I want to help you embrace this. And I too used to struggle with, like, I think there is something cool to like seeing a jawline, but when I struggled with my weight, like, I could definitely see more fat being stored in my chin, and like my jawline wasn't expressed, and I know that
Rounder.
yeah, right. It's just like there's more fat over it, right? So you can't really see the bone and the definition. So I didn't used to like it. Now here's the deal. Do you remember the one guy when we trained at Equinox, and he would come and he would do like his neck exercises, and we're like, what the heck?
Yeah, I always.
And we're like, is he a boxer or something? But anyways, like, when it comes to any exercise, there is a rhyme and a reason. Now
there should be a rhyme and a reason.
There should be a rhyme and a reason, and we hope that there was a rhyme and a reason.
Gym fails have no rhyme and reason. If
Right.
you've seen gym fails, that person does not have a rhyme and a reason to why they're doing what they're doing.
Now, with regards to your question, it's almost very similar to somebody who's like, how many sit-ups should I do in order to have toned abs? And my answer to you, if you want to have toned abs, focusing on sit-ups is not the thing that will get you that. And that's the same thing that goes for every single area in your body that you want to get more definition. Doing more reps of that one thing is not necessarily going to help you get it more defined. If you want more definition, you need to focus on developing the habits that are going to help you to continue to get leaner. And this is very much based on your nutrition overall. And you know what? Like, if your neck is an area where you get to store more fat, and by the way, we all have our areas where we store more fat, okay? That's just how it is. Like for me, it's, right above my butt, like the muffin top area, and the front, like lower part of my belly. Doesn't matter how lean I get, like those are like the hardest areas, and it is what it is.
Typically, somebody will be like a lower body or an upper body, like below the waist or above the waist.
Yeah.
I'm for sure above the waist too. Like that's why my legs get really lean. But like I could still have some like la 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 la.
We have our guitar. We stand in front of the mirror and we play our guitars.
Stop. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to see what we're talking about at some point.
This is what we call embrace the process. You have to love your imperfections. So I share this with you because I would challenge you to do the exercise of affirmation where you work on appreciating your neck for what it is. Okay, because let me tell you the truth, no neck exercise is going to get you a, like a neck of a football player. If that's, how like football players, I feel like they have the most muscular, like thickest necks. Like,
I would say you don't need to do any neck exercises at all.
No, but as long as you are consistent with, like clean nutrition, making sure that you get good rest, just from your language, I can tell you that probably your biggest area of opportunity is shifting your perspective on things and just having more increased consistency. And appreciate yourself for what you are, and just do what you can every single day to continue moving on the path. And you know what? Maybe your neck will get leaner over time. And if it doesn't, because your body wants to keep holding on to that shit, then you are still appreciating the process.
There's a really good question. It keeps skipping around here. Where is it at? Oh, it is. Come on. You see what it keeps doing to me?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're all the way up.
Oh my,
It
yeah,
does keep on skipping because they're adding more comments.
yeah, but usually when I'm up here, it doesn't do that. Gosh. Okay, I'm gonna try to paraphrase what I saw before. You know what? I'm over it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't care anymore. Okay, I'm gonna paraphrase what I think I saw. I think it's a very good and important question. It went something along the lines of, I'm wondering how long it takes for the booty to round out. I went through the drive-thru and I scrolled through the menu and I looked for the J-Lo, but all I could find was the SpongeBob flat pants. How long does it take for the booty to round out?
Again, it's all about it. It's all about how your body likes to express itself too. Like Erin and I do the same workouts. My upper body is a lot more jacked. Her butt, like, forget about it. It's just like this amazing thing. Meanwhile,
it's my biggest asset.
Meanwhile, you see my butt and
hey, I'm telling a joke.
Sorry.
It's my biggest asset. Did you see what I did there?
Your biggest asset is your brain, but I get it.
My butt can think too.
It does have a mind of its own. But look, you guys, like, I would say for the amount of shit that I'm able to do with my lower body, like, my butt is flat.
It's not
like
flat.
it's not like pancake.
It's not
but,
J-Lo. It's not
but
J-Lo.
It's not like ooh,
it's
like
not,
girl squats, yo. Like, you never think that.
It's not J-Lo, but it's not Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Sure. Right, because like my body does not express itself that way. So, you know, just think about how far can I go. This is a journey that never ends for anybody, you guys. For anybody. Erin and I, we're chasing every single day. Our team, our coaches, they're chasing every single day. Do we all have parts that are, like, you know, not as perfect as we want it to be? Absolutely. You know what I say to that?
You're not playing guitar though. You have to. You're left-handed, so you're up here, and then this is your guitar right here.
No, I do my guitar like this because you see me in the mirror.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder if you played a guitar. If you actually played a guitar, if you would do it that way.
This feels more natural to me. But so, like, we do this and we just play around with it, and like, it is what it is, you guys. Like, I got this thing right here.
Here's the deal. Right now, listen. Sergeant, please, sir. Sir. Enough. Here's the deal. Right now, they're like, oh, please, come on. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's all hold on. It's all relative.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we all judge ourselves. We all criticize ourselves. It doesn't matter how, like, the fittest people, the fittest, most, like, healthiest, ripped, lean, strong people find things that they want to improve. There's nothing wrong with that. The day you stop finding things you want to improve with yourself is the day you've died. Hold on. Let it sink in. There's so much in society right now that's like, it's not okay to want to be better. Love yourself as you are.
We talked about it.
Love yourself
last night.
who you are. Like, just love who you are. Love where you're at. Can't you just love? Yeah, dude, but I want to be better because if I have stopped trying to improve things, no, enough is never enough. Because the minute I stop trying to be better is the minute I've died.
Yep.
I have no purpose anymore. Purpose is working towards an achievement.
Amen.
You're working towards something you want to accomplish. And usually the accomplishment is not, oh, I'm trying to get worse. So, you know, it's super important that we embrace wanting to be better. And if anybody's ever telling you, like, oh, when is enough enough? Oh, you work out too much. Oh, you know, just eat you eat healthy all the time, like, just have a piece of cake, or like, you're so obsessed with blah, 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 or like, you've already done XYZ, like, why do you need to keep doing it? Because, bitch, I'm trying to just be better than I was yesterday, all the time, for the rest of my life, until my days are done. I am trying to be better. It's very easy for the person who's not reaching, the person who has settled, to criticize the person who's reaching. Nobody who's doing more than you will ever tell you to do less. Think about that. Nobody who's doing more than you will ever tell you to do less.
So true.
I don't know how I got on this tangent.
I love it. We talked about it last night, and I think it was Courtney who asked it, and she's like, she's on the journey of reaching, and we live in this "you are enough" society, and I believe that all of you guys are enough in the sense that you're more than worth it, right? Like, especially if you come to our community, most people who come to our community have a lot of what I would call self-worth issues. So I believe that you're enough, but I believe that you can be better. You are enough, but you can be better. And I think that stopping at "you are enough" is giving yourself slack. Oh, honey, like, you're enough. Just like eat a donut.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I'm trying to get better, yes, I'm enough. That's why I'm going to reach for more. And that's why I'm going to say, you know what, today I'm going to say no to a donut because I am enough. And I'm trying to also be better. So I will make a better choice.
Your mom is in town.
Uh-huh. Can they hear her?
Oh, no, I probably not. But I'm just saying, something that's been difficult, sometimes you let people into your environment whose lives don't completely align with the way that you live, right? And it's difficult, but you choose who you let in, and you choose who remains there. And
for how long you let them in, if you do.
Yeah. And, you also have to understand that it is your responsibility to accept whatever they bring, so she gets offended when we don't eat something that we don't want to eat. And she tells us, what we need to do and eat and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't want that. I don't, thanks. But she's like, why? And it's like, now it's personal. And I'm like, I just don't want it.
Please don't take it personally. Like, we just gave you a salad bowl and you just had one bite. So
Yeah,
I'm not getting offended about it.
Yeah, you don't want to eat a salad.
Please don't get offended.
If you don't want to eat the salad, don't eat the salad. But
Right.
don't tell me that I have to eat something I don't want to eat, right? So it's like this, we've been through this enough though that it's like we can handle it, we can be okay with it. But it's like,
yeah. And look, I mean, this is a complete other tangent, and we can continue talking about this on another day. But I think it's also a lot of leadership as well, and knowing how to communicate. Like, how do you really put somebody at ease and show them that you appreciate them while also denying their offers? It takes a lot of practice with regards to developing communication skills. And, it's like, hey, I can still love you without doing whatever you want me to do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You can love people by respecting yourself first. I truly do believe that. And our intention is to teach you guys how to do that. Because I don't believe that you can truly love. You can never truly love people the way that you want to love them until you love yourself so much, in the sense that you always treat yourself with respect. So my respect to me means more than how anybody thinks about me, because by the end of the day, I live with me all day, every single day. And if something feels off, then guess what? It goes into every single conversation. And I cannot tolerate that. So if somebody wants to get butthurt about it, then that's on them. However, because when it comes to communication, there is a sender and a receiver, it's important to be mindful of how are they hearing it, because it's not sometimes just about what you say, it's about how is that received.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it, guys.
You guys go take advantage of the epic 4th of July sale. It ends today. Fitscription is now live, so you can have access to all things ENS Army fitness programs.
Tomorrow it goes back to $67 a month. back to, that's what the UTC it was. So
Also 20% off all merch, right?
10 or 20, I don't remember what we did. There's a lot of things that go through my brain, but it's on sale. And keep an eye on your email. There's going to be a really special offer that goes out, something we've never done before. And that's it for the day. Hope you guys have a really blessed, beautiful day. And we are sending you all of our love and happy, consistent, healthy self-love and respect vibes to you. And we'll see you around.
Bye, guys.